Alright, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for round two. So, on the play, hand is pretty reasonable. One removal spell, a bunch of dudes. Bunch of 3/4s and whatnot. Seems pretty reasonable. Verdant Catacombs is going to want to get a white mana. And I don't know. I might want to disfigure on turn 2. If he has, I don't know, it's weird because if he plays Goblin Guide or Delver or something, I might want to just go like 2-drop and then 3-drop, play 2 spells, and then just forgo getting white mana if he's just a really aggressive deck. So I think I might want to just play Treetop here. It seems kind of weird because I could totally see playing Tomb and then next turn playing Treetop and Disfigure, but I think that messes us up too much. I think I want to play 2 spells on turn 3 against most decks, so I think this is kind of worth it. And he's playing Affinity. It's alright, now we get to test out these Stony Silences, see how good they actually are. At least I was hoping it was Affinity, not some weird Inkmoth Nexus deck. Get some Polymorph action, Proteus Staff, you know. So I think we're on the same plan here. This other Verdant is pretty reasonable because now I can just get a Swamp with this one. And then maybe, probably get a white mana with the other one. And just get this Goyf out here. And next turn, I'll be able to disfigure something and play another Goyf and maybe just give him the beatdowns. That is my hope anyway, but we'll see what happens. He might be a little slow to develop here. He only has like a 1-lander, and yeah, that's what it looks like. So, well, now we can just Marsh Flats up the Plains, but that kind of gives it away. Kind of gives away our Disfigure intentions. Although I don't think it really matters, because it's not like him putting it on Inkmoth really does a whole ton next turn. And he still needs a mana to be able to do that, so I think I'm just going to Disfigure now, make my Goyf super huge. And I think I'm supposed to fetch a Plains here. Maybe it's supposed to be Temple Garden, actually. I think I'm the aggressor, and I might actually want to play Ooze next turn and eat some stuff. So I kind of want the extra green. I certainly should have thought about this before I decided which fetch land to play, because that might change things. But I think we're okay getting a Temple Garden. He doesn't have a ton of cards, and he might try and kill us with poison. So we're just going to go this route and hope that that is not a big mistake. I think it's right, though, because I think I might actually want multiple green for Ooze, but that actually might not matter, especially because if I eat his Vault Scourge, then my Ghosts are going to be kind of small, but I still want that option available to me. Yeah, and he just plays out another Drum and nothing. Jeez. Okay, so now our turn is easy. Now we just try and hit him for 11 and put him to dead to 1,000,000 threats next turn. And this is it, you know? For the most part, this is just like a mid-rangey, kind of like board control deck, but sometimes you just give him the beatdowns. And I'm not sure what he could really have to get out of this. Certainly if he had enough mana for like another Plating and Animate and whatever, but he was so far off. There's basically nothing he could have had. So, this matchup's pretty interesting. Definitely like the Stony Silences, the Disfigure. Golgari Charms are pretty good against his Nexuses and whatnot. Spellbomb not so good. Souls are good. I could see Duress being okay because mainly you want to snipe Plating or whatever their sideboard card is. Like sometimes they have Spell Pierce or Thoughtseize. Could also have something weird like Rest in Peace, which is pretty good against Tarmogoyfs and Scavenging Oozes and whatnot. But I don't know. I think for the most part, I want not a ton of discard because I want to just be interacting on the early turns. So I think I can actually cut this Duress. Ooze is a little slow. I could see cutting one of those. Lilianas are quite bad. I think Rhino is pretty reasonable. And Anafen's is big, but I could certainly see cutting it. Fulminator might just end up being better because it can kill a Nexus. So maybe we go minus the Anafenzas. I like 2-ish Fulminators. I could see cutting a Rhino too. Kind of want to cut one of these Oozes. This is kind of tough. You might think that like Timely would be good here because they're kind of a beatdown deck, but they can also just kill you in poison, and they have a bunch of flyers, so Timely doesn't actually do all that much. So I think this is okay. I really do want to cut one of these Oozes though. So what would be better? A Duress, a Fulminator, 4th Rhino. I'm pretty sure Liliana is just bad always. I don't want to draw too many Fulminators. So maybe it is just a Rhino. Seems kind of silly though. It costs so much. So expensive. Maybe it's just a Duress. I'm trying to get him. I'll try Duress on the draw and then maybe a Rhino on the play. When it's like more realistic for me to actually get to 4 mana, because he could just kill me on turn 3 and there won't be a whole lot I could do. So I think 1 Duress is fine. And our opener is mediocre and only has 1 land. So those two things combined means that this is a pretty easy mulligan. Really want some 1 mana interaction and preferably a Stony Silence, but anything that's like 1 drop into 2 drop is definitely what I'm looking for. I just want to not fall behind, and he has Springleaf Drum and Mox Opal to get really far ahead of us, so it's pretty tough to actually maintain parity, especially on the draw. Normally they're pretty fast. Right, so we're gonna mulligan, and we have another 1-lander, but this one has a Disfigure, a Goyf, a Cut, and Lingering Souls, which are great, so I think this is actually a keep. I could certainly see going to 5, but I don't know. I guess I need to just rattle off 2 lands in a row, which might kind of be a tall order, but I think this hand is okay, just because it, like, outside of Stony Silence, like, these are some of the best cards against him. And if I didn't have a 1 mana card, I would certainly ship this one, but as is, I think it's okay. And we draw Swamp, which is nice. Kind of just want to disfigure that thing right away, and then, yeah, I'm going to do that. No, I don't have to do it, like, right this second, I suppose. But I definitely want to get a Temple Garden with this Verdant Catacombs, so yeah, we'll just play Swamp and pass. If he plays something like a Drum or an Opal, then I will kill this. But I don't think there's a whole lot of need to kill it. I mean, he could like Spell Pierce me or something, or Shrapnel Blast me, but I think I'm fine with both of those. Maybe not Spell Pierce. It'd be kind of unfortunate if I got Spell Pierced, but I don't think there's any real downside to me waiting. A lot of the times people are just like, oh, well, it's an instant, so I'll just, you know, do it on his turn or whatever, and that's not always right. But in this case, I think it might actually be, because I can't really get punished. But I definitely don't want to take that damage. Affinity certainly kills you in large chunks, but sometimes it's just like, well, they do it to have you at exactly lethal, you know. It's like, it's rare that they overkill you despite attacking for large amounts of damage. So now we have a Decay for that plating, which is pretty nice. I'm not sure if he's really going to walk into that, if he's going to spend his turn activating and whatnot, or if he's just going to try to Etch Champion us. But regardless, I think no matter what, it's worth killing plating this turn and then casting Lingering Souls on my turn. So now he's going to Thoughtseize me. That's another good reason to actually want to cast this Decay, because then we don't really care if we get Thoughtseized. kill that thing. Take whatever you want. All my cards are the same, man. Assume he would take Goyf. Unless he's going to play something like a Ravager, then he might take Cut. But Ravager doesn't look very good against my hand anyway, so... Goyf certainly seems like the most threatening card. Especially since I can't even cast Souls yet. It just might be worth it for him to try and, like, assemble a board presence before I actually get to, you know, start assembling mine. But I would assume that Goyf is the card he takes, but I could certainly be wrong. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about boarding in Thoughtseize. It's like, I get that you're scared of things like Stony Silence and Creeping Corrosion, but I'm not sure this is the best way to handle things. Like, things like Corrosion, you can just play a Welding Jar, you know? And Stony Silence is just, like, so tough to beat anyway. It's like, are you even making a positive trade by boarding in Thoughtseize and diluting your deck against a deck that has this turn 2 thing that's really good against you? So land there obviously would have been great because I would have felt almost fully stabilized, but if I have to take the turn off to cut something, I'm also fine with that. So there's the Welding Jar. So now my cut is basically just going to trade with the jar. So I could cut the Pest right now, which adds an extra poison, but if I'm worried about poison... like Souls basically has me covered, so I don't think I want to trade Cut for Jar, or Cut to get around Jar. I think I'd rather just trade Cut with the Jar actually, or at least save Cut for a time when it can fog his attack by making him have to regenerate. So Ravager certainly makes things a little bit more interesting, and not quite sure what's going to happen now. Twilight Mire is good. I think it is just Souls. Force him to make some sacrifices. And then maybe we can just grind him out from here. So I think Souls is actually just going to end up being awesome in this matchup, which is why I kept him around in the 75, was mostly for this. And, you know, the mirror is certainly some consideration there too. But, oh man, is he piercing me? God, he has Thoughtseize and Pierce. That's way too many things to be sideboarding in, I think. I'm certainly okay with it. Not quite sure what's going to happen now. Or at least, you know, whether or not I'm going to win. But I think I have all the tools. I just need a little bit of time, and I think these Souls should get me there. Should be able to flashback Souls, hold up Cut, and just be fine, but we'll see. He's gonna start sacking things. It's about time to move in. You know, he's hellbent. So I think he should be just focusing on trying to win with what he has, rather than keeping his land around to try and play things. So I think he gets the Battle Cry out of this Pest and then maybe sack some stuff, but it doesn't look like it. He thought about it, though. Alright, so now I can just cast Souls from my hand, and I think that's good. The next turn I can just flash back 2 of them, or play Rhino, whatever works. So play Souls, block some stuff, hopefully do some Ravager sacrifices, and maybe Welding Jar sacrifice, but with him knowing that I have Cut, that's going to be pretty difficult. Be very impressed if he manages to get through this, but yeah, it just ends up not even doing anything. Just like, can't really attack, so now I think I am free to attack. And I'm not sure if some weirdo stuff is going to happen. I don't think there's any downside to me playing out all these Souls. Could certainly be like a random Electrickery or Whip Flare or something, and then that'd be pretty brutal. I don't think you can board in Thoughtseize, Bell Pierce, and stuff to beat Souls, though. I think Souls it just is. Like, the second one can get pierced, which I'm fine with because he didn't attack last turn when I had to, so. Still think it's okay, plus I'm going to have Cut Open after I play this untapped. And then next turn we'll be able to Rhino back a bunch of life. If he has Pierce, he should counter this. Perhaps just doing a little showboating. Or Hollywooding, I guess, is more appropriate. So, like, you can't really hem and haw in that spot, because if you had Pierce, you should just use it. And now we have a Slaughter Pact, so... I'm definitely liking the cut, costing 1 mana, despite us mulligan this game. It's pretty nice. He also helped us out with Thoughtseizing our guy, which was cool. So last turn I had 4 things and he couldn't attack. Or I had 2 things. Or 2 turns ago I had two things. So I think I'm safe just keeping 2 back again. I can put Rhino here, Spirits on a Nexus and a Pest, let 1 Pest through, and then I have 2 removal spells to cover me, so I think all I need to keep back is 2. There might be some merit to actually attacking with another one and then just having him on the full 2-turn clock. But, yeah, maybe I should have done that. I don't think it changes much in the scheme of things, but it could. I don't think it changes things because I have Rhino. So now I should be able to attack with everyone and then should be able to trample over with my 2 removal spells. So he's going to have to sack a bunch of stuff. Or not. Just die to trample. That's also fine. Okay, so 2-0. Play against the Boggles and the Affinities. And so far so good. 2 matchups that I definitely thought were probably among the worst matchups last season. But, you know, the white cards ended up being pretty good in both these matches. So... I don't know. Like, maybe just Rhino is as ridiculous as it is just, you know, this big, expensive 4-mana thing just, like, changes a lot. Granted, it did not, it didn't show up or matter in the first match, but, like, it's the reason to play the white cards that make you good against Affinity, so it's interesting. Modern is a changing.